So, hi guys. Oh, that's a bit too loud. There you go. So, hi John. Hi Dilshan. And wait, there are now some few others. Daka is also here. Hi, and Jack. What's up, guys? So, okay. How's the sound? Sound good? Not too loud? You can hear me all. Music is not too loud. So I was thinking, let's start with our video from yesterday. So it's only like 4 minutes, so let's go watch this. And let's switch the. There you go. Okay. Go big? No, we can't go big because I'm in way. So let's watch it like this. Okay, let's start this. So the video I made about. I'm still too loud, huh? The video I made is about multiple opponents, 2 opponents, but from a walking position. So when you walk towards the guys in a street, which usually can happen, and they suddenly attack you. Okay, so there you go. What happens if you get attacked by 2 guys in the street while you're walking? So you have your few examples. Look at this one here at the ankle. Now watch now. There you go. So when you kick the guy here to the ankle like this, you break his ankle. He can't stand anymore. Okay. So let's go a bit back. Whoa. I didn't even realize that I did that twice with both of them. Here 1 and then here 2. Side kick knee, back fist. Side kick knee, evading, again back fist, sweep and kick to the head. Cheers, John. Guys, can you just write me? Can you even see this? Can you even see that? Second. Nobody's responding, so check this. Second, just a second. I want to see if this stream is even online. Well, it looks like it's online. Let's see if this stream is. Yeah, looks good. Okay, okay. I was just wondering. So let's continue then. Okay, so you have to be able to attack and defend yourself from any position, and this includes as well walking. Okay, Dilshan, thank you. Position like this, you have to be able to use your techniques depending on where your opponent is and from where. Okay, so remember, always check Tommy's page, yeah, for online lessons or maybe ordering some gear, some training equipment you need maybe. So it's always a good place to go there. Is he coming? There are simple drills you can do to achieve this. You have one training partner coming at you, you walk, and as soon as you're close, you do your technique. So depending how your step is, this could be if he's in front, this could be your left leg, this could be your. So when you walk, okay, so when you walk like this, okay, and you happen to be like here and you have the right distance, you can use your rear leg to kick, or you can shuffle to kick with your front leg. So usually you would prefer your strong leg, but sometimes you can also use your left depending on where your opponent is. So if the next opponent, if your opponent is, let's say, the first one is in front of you, and the next one is on your right side, so you could choose to kick the first one with your left, so you can attack immediately the next one with your right leg. So it depends how they are positioned, and this will make your decision what leg you use for your first opponent.
Your right leg is he to your right, then you would use your right side naturally. So you will go like this. You can do a side kick like this, or if your leg is in front, you can.
Usually when somebody is just walking towards you, okay, you wouldn't attack his legs like I showed here, okay, because it can happen that you kick this leg, but he is already stepping forward with his left leg, and this leg wouldn't be like exposed as much, so you would actually kick the wrong leg. Of course, if you have really good timing, you can do also that.
Quickly shuffle and go there. If he's walking, you would actually side kick to his groin. You will go.
So, like here, if he's just walking towards you, you would attack parts of body that are not moving as much. So because legs are moving like this, so like this, okay. So and if he's stepping here and you attack this the front leg, but he's stepping forward like this and you attack this leg, that's a wrong leg, because you should actually attack this one. But the upper body, you know, the hip, the groin, it doesn't change. So this is a part of body that you can attack anytime if somebody is running at you or he's walking at you.
Like this. Then you can implement punches. When he comes near, he punches.
So when he punches, okay, usually he is going to do a step, okay, for the punch. Then you can attack the leg.
Then you can attack the leg. Then you can implement kicks. When he comes near, he kicks at you.
So same here. When he kicks, he steps before he kicks, and you attack the step. So you don't wait for the kick or for his technique. You always attack the step, okay? So the leg that's going forward into the step, you side kick this one. In this moment, you can imagine all weight is here, and he tries to kick with his left, okay? And you side kick through his well, standing or his supporting leg. And because all the weight is here, it's even worse for him. The chances are really high that you break or tear all these tendons inside the knee. Hi Rooney. How to function training for this kick efficiency? You mean the side kick? How to function? You mean how to train to make this kick functioning and efficient? I'm gonna get back to that.
Then you can go here. If you see it too late, you can go here. Evade.
So always, if you're not sure what this guy is doing, okay, or you see it too late, you can evade. Okay, you just make a bigger distance and make his technique disappear into the air, okay, and then you come back and counter.
And now,
and the transition between going back and going forward again, okay, like here.
then you can
let's
go
see
here.
the next
if
one.
you see it too late, you can go here.
So here, going back,
Eight.
and the transitioning back into the attack. This is crucial, so you shouldn't use a lot of time or waste a lot of time for that. And also, you shouldn't evade too much or making too big step backwards. I never forget what Tommy said. When you evade a kick, you should always just go as much backwards that he only like touches your clothes. Okay, so that would be the perfect distance, and you can immediately counter, even with hands when he kicks. Okay.
And now you can counter. You would most likely have multiple opponents. If you have two opponents, for example, you go here, and you have the one here, then you break his knee. Now you have time to handle this guy.
So that's why it's important to attack vulnerable targets. So you always attack targets that have the greatest chance of ending the guy, okay? So when you attack the knee, you rip all the tendons, so this guy can't stand anymore. Okay, when you attack the groin, I mean, if you're a man, if you ever received a groin kick, you know what happens. Okay, you just your all lower part of your torso cramps and forces you to protect your groin. Okay, and you lose even air. You can't breathe anymore, so you're not capable of fighting in this moment for at least a few seconds. And eyes, okay, if you get attacked in an eye, you can see properly, and that's how you make sure the opponent isn't able to attack properly further, and you can concentrate on your next opponent, okay, in a very next second.
If you do stuff like this, you go like here, you go here, you bring the guy down, and now you have a problem. You have two opponents, you go here.
So that's a typical example, you know, when you do a lot of grappling and you do this kind of training, when somebody punches, you go under and you pull his legs like here. You can actually do this, but what you shouldn't do is stick to him. You can, you know, pull his legs, and then you can stand up again and kick it into his groin, or you can even stomp his ankle. And actually, Bruce did this in Way of the Dragon against who was it? Bob Wall, I think. When he the Bob Wall, I think he kicked with a hook kick, and Bruce went down. No, he was coming with a karate punches, and Bruce went down and he pulled his legs, so that Bob Wall went on the ground, and then Bruce punched into the groin. Okay.
You bring the guy down, and now you have a problem. You have two opponents, and this guy can punch you or kick you. Depending on angle or how his...
Rooney, yeah. Mardicius more high. Only when there's stillness of movement that the universal rhythm manifests. Bruce Lee. Yes, charade. Yes, sir. Jeet Kune is situation wise fight. Yes or no? To tell you the truth, I don't understand this question. So Jeet Kune is situation. What do you mean with wise fight? Did you misspell this? Okay, let's watch further.
Walking, when he comes towards you, you can use a groin kick. When this guy is here, then you can switch to a side kick. You could even go to the head when he comes down.
Sometimes you can kick to the head, okay. Usually when the guy has lowered his upper body, so sometimes you can kick to the head. It's not advisable to kick to the head while he's standing, because it's always a longer way. Okay, so you waste a lot of time, and he has more time to react. You know, you have to understand, in Jeet Kune Do or in street fighting, everything is about odds. So what chances are there that you actually succeed? So the techniques that take the least amount of time and a least amount of effort, and attack the most vulnerable targets, have the greatest chance to succeed. So, and then now you have defined these targets like knees, okay, a groin or chin, throat, eyes, okay, and now you have to use a technique that is suited to these targets. And this is how Jeet Kune Do works, okay? So for knees, of course, side kick, but it's not only side kick, there are a few other techniques, but the side kick is like a most common technique to use against the knee. Groin, of course, front kicks in closer range, punches, it can be back fist, it can be like a shovel hook, okay? So this kind of hook. If you lower and then you punch like this to the groin. And for the eyes, you would take, of course, finger jabs, any kind of finger attack, and chin, throat, any kind of punch. Could be straight, could be left, hook, okay, almost any kind of hook you can use for here and also for here. So you should actually use for the throat. When he keeps his chin down, then you hit the chin, which is also okay. And so depending on these targets, you train techniques that are suitable or that suitable to these targets. Okay, that's how JKD works. High P ruses, I think. So, sir, I mean, Jeet Kune is situation fight in no style fight. But JKD itself is not defined as a style. The reason why you wouldn't say is a style, of course, everything is a style. A style with no style is then a style with no style. Okay, but no style does not mean multiple styles. Okay, so it does not mean you it does not mean you train 5 different styles and now you have no styles. Well, of course you have 5 different styles. So no style means, okay, so you have really to understand this. No style means that you don't use your technique, or you don't force your technique to the situation, okay? So like boxing is a style. Why is the boxing a style? Because boxing, it chases the head. Most of the time it chases the head, okay? So it doesn't matter what it is, you attack the head and you try to force your style over the opponent. So what's an example in the same situation but having no style? Let's take this example. You punch a guy with a straight lead to the head. What he does, he steps back and he evades your punch, okay? So a boxer would still try to punch to the head, would go forward and attack the head, because that's the style, natural style of boxing. Jeet Kune has no style, so Jeet Kune would not chase the head. So Jeet Kune would look for a natural flow of the technique. So where's the next opening so I can go with the least effort and the least energy, hi Walter, and the least losing a least amount of time. In Jeet Kune, so you punch with a straight lead, guy steps back and he waits. Now his groin is open or his knees are available. So you would follow up with a groin kick or with a side kick. Okay, so because the only thing that dictates your technique is the next opening, okay, and how available the target is. That's why you wouldn't say is a style, because a typical typical thing for a style is always doing the same thing despite of situations. So a taekwondo guy would always try to kick you. Doesn't matter if he's even the better opening is now at the head, he would still try to kick you because he would force his style onto the situation. So this is a big misconception, thinking like having a multiple styles is Jeet Kune. But even if guys train multiple styles, they don't use it like this. So they use just different styles in different ranges. But this is okay. That's not how this works. You don't need Muay Thai for Jeet Kune. You have all your kicks in Jeet Kune. Okay, so the Bruce did develop the kicks. Okay, and the body mechanics in Jeet Kune are all body mechanics in Jeet Kune are very much heavily emphasized on non-telegraphic movement. So you don't want to telegraph your kicks, which in Taekwondo, in Muay Thai, for example, is not the case. So every time before they kick, okay, they do a step, or when they kick with the front leg, then they shuffle with the back leg to the side and kick that, which is telegraphing. But in Jeet Kune, you don't want to do this. So you have to be efficient, effective, and also non-telegraphing. So and this is how these three principles actually define your technique. Okay, so let's watch a bit again.
So let's say you do the side kick and he comes down. Now you can kick to the head, or you can even kick the groin. You can go from here. You can go from here to here, and then to the groin. That's why you want to use the most.
So sometimes you can follow up if you're not sure if your first kick had done enough damage, then you can also follow up. But also you follow up to the vulnerable targets. Okay, not kick the guy in the upper leg. Okay, that's really not very clever when it comes to street fighting.
Efficient and effective techniques, like always.
Because the upper leg is the biggest muscle in a human body and also biggest bone. Okay, so that's the part of your body where you are going to do the least damage. Okay. Let's see something else. Okay. So
Eyes, knees, groin. If you have the good distance, you can use the hooks to the chin or even to the throat and punches to the throat.
So which I was talking about a few minutes ago.
That's why it's important to practice precision and distance. One of the easiest exercises is just to place two training partner and have them always have different body positions, and then you can attack just from stillness. For example, you have here one, you have here one, you have here one, you have here one.
So the purpose of exercise like this is just to get used to the targets. So you don't think about attacking. You just do it, and you don't waste any time. Okay. So, but it's always helpful if the cleaner your technique is. Okay. The better you're gonna do this. And with your technique, I mean your distance control, your technique, your mechanical technique, your footwork, and even your seeing. Okay.
You have here one, you have here one, you have here one, you have.
You can place them also different. Thanks for Ralph and Fabian for helping me out in this video. So Ralph could actually stand here, or he can stand here, and Fabian could stand here. And every repetition, they could also change their positioning and also their stance. Okay, simulate the different stances. Okay, from different styles.
Here one, you can go here and here. You can go here and here.
So this is a situation when you can actually do a back kick. You attack with the front leg, this knee, and then with the left leg, this knee. Okay, when you turn. So because it's the most direct in this situation. Look,
you can go
1,
here,
2.
Here.
Okay.
You can go here and here. You can go here and here. You can go here and here. You can go here, 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 and here, for example. So just the simple exercises.
Okay, I think the video is finished. So let's go through a few questions. Okay. So give me a bit music. Okay, that's nice. P, hello, nice to be here. Thanks for watching. Yeah, thank you for being here. Sir, Jeet Kune freestyle fight, yes or no? I just explain what having no style means. Okay, so you have, of course, you have your set of techniques that you have to practice, and these techniques are based on biomechanics of the human body, because we all have 2 hands and 2 legs, and we are all built the same. Even one is smaller, one is bigger, but the general build plan is the same. So the techniques, every Jeet Kune guy technique should be the same. Okay, but you don't force like always the same combination, same pattern of techniques in same situation. So depending on what opening you have, you would attack this opening. Okay, that's what dictates your fight. Okay, so you lose the least amount of time. Okay, Walter, hello. Yes, hello. Sharid Rai, Har Madev. Okay, is it Indian language? P, that makes sense. Yes, thank you. Rooney Wong from no form, difficult to training. Yes. You know, I had a lot of students from different styles coming to my school, and I think the people from Wing Chun style have the biggest difficulties when it comes to Jeet Kune, because the body positioning, the structure is totally different. The footwork is different. The techniques are not even close. So most of people who came into my school and they have trained Wing Chun previously for, let's say, more than 5 or 10 years, they can't switch, because in order to learn Jeet Kune, they would have put so much time into this to unlearn what they have learned in Wing Chun, and then to learn Jeet Kune. It's like double as difficult if you compare it to somebody who hasn't done any martial art. And it's similar to other martial arts as well. I had also guys from Muay Thai in my training, and and when you say, okay, the most guys train left side forward, and they come to us, and then I say, okay, now you have to train strong side forward, and alone this fact is for them like a no-go. And then you say, okay, now you have to move hand before foot. No chance, never learned that. Always trained stepping and then static punching. So they are not really willing to learn Jeet Kune. The most think, okay, I have done some martial arts, Jeet Kune is not going to be a problem for me. Believe me, most of the guys are not able to learn really Jeet Kune, because they can't empty their cup, they can't forget what they have learned in order to learn this. So Jeet Kune is fully based on speed. No, that's not true. Timing is far more important than speed, okay? So you need right timing. So you can be the fastest guy in the world, but if you attack, punch or kick or move at the wrong moment, it's no use, okay? So the timing you have to feel, you have to know, and then eventually you have to feel when to do things, okay? And when you have a good timing, you don't even have to be that fast, okay? Being fast helps, but it's not everything, okay? You can say speed is beneficial to any martial art, which is true. P, how do you learn Jeet Kune if not available? Yeah, that's really hard, okay? That's difficult. So because anything you've, like 99% information about Jeet Kune out there is wrong, and even if you pick up the right information, there's a lot of missing stones or missing parts, so it's really hard to learn, okay? I mean, you can't really learn any martial art from a book. So go try to learn karate from a book. How is this gonna work? I mean, you can do only certain, like things, but the moment you come into the karate school, now you really see how the movements are go, okay? Even videos are much more helpful, but there's not enough information, okay? So when you take Tommy's online lessons, you can learn a lot of basics, okay, in the first series, which helped me a lot. Before I went to his school, I took his lessons, okay? I can really advise you or to do this. Sharidrai hard, okay. Hi Pierre. Thomas, sorry I'm late. No, you're not late. We are just since a few minutes here. Rooney Wong, thank you, sir. Okay. You're welcome. So let me see something. Okay. So.
And then, like I showed you, from movement and from different angles. And in the next video, we're going to show you how to use all this on pads.
So you can see, you can practice all this on pads. So you have two guys holding your pads at different distances, different angles. So when you have to side kick there, front kick there, or punch there, and then side kick in other direction, okay, or they're coming towards you with holding pads a certain way. So you can side kick this pad and front kick this one, and just repeat this, okay? Just repeat, okay? Sidali Bektauli, hi. I train Jeet Kune, but sometimes in fight I forget techniques. I don't know why. I can tell you why, because you haven't done enough repetitions. So okay, so you guys, you need to understand any kind of sport. Is it basketball? Is it football? Is it American football? Is it in karate, is it Jeet Kune, is it anything, okay? So the way our brain works is, in order to make something, ideally you have to have your technique not to think about it. So when something happens, your technique launches itself. Okay, so like Bruce said in the movie, okay, don't think, feel. Okay, when I see opening, I don't hit, it hits all by itself. So that's actually true. And in order to achieve that, you have to repeat and repeat and repeat. It's like driving car. Okay, when you started with your driving lessons, so then your driving teacher came to you and you told you, okay, now you have to put. I mean, if you drive manually, so automatic is far easier. But if you drive manually, he says, well, so now push the clutch with your left foot. Now put the gear in. Okay, put the turn signal and then look to the left. Okay, and now you release the clutch, and at the same time you give a bit throttle, and then you start to steer to the left and watch into the mirror, and then watch to your left, and you want to drive out of the parking spot. And at the beginning you're gonna say, oh man, how I'm gonna be able to do any of this? But eventually, like, you repeat this 10,000 of time, and then you do all this without thinking. You clutch, you go first gear, turn signal, you drive out with no thinking. So that's how you achieve things. So I mean, you just have to know that you just need repetitions. That's everything. You achieve everything with repetitions. There's no other way. There's literally no other way. So you need just enough thousands of repetitions to be able to achieve something under stress. Okay? So, and now when you know that, and Bruce knew that, because he studied also, like biomechanical stuff and neurological stuff, so how the brain works, okay, in sports science. When you go study sports science, you learn all this, and when you now know that, so now you can put your time into your training, and you can build up your training toward this goal. And here's the thing: the more time you put into something, the better you're gonna learn it, the faster you're gonna learn it, the sooner you're gonna learn it. Okay, so, and now imagine you do 5 different styles, or even more different styles, and you train all these techniques from different styles. So, but in order to learn like one technique really good, you have to repeat it 100,000s of times. And now when you learn 100 different techniques, how much time you put in all these techniques? Because each technique requires its own training time. So it's not going to be very professional, because you have too many techniques. That's how you see the MMA guys that are focusing very much on grappling are usually bad punchers and bad kickers, because they don't spend enough time with that. Okay, and also vice versa. And so in Jeet Kune, so now you have to define in Jeet Kune what techniques are the most important, and then you reduce to these techniques and you train. So like Bruce said, okay, so being wise in Jeet Kune is not adding more, but it's to minimize. So you minimize to most essential techniques that you need for street fighting, and then you put a lot of time in it, which is finger jab, straight lead, the hooks, the side kicks, the hook kicks. Okay, these are most important techniques, and you put a lot of time in this. And a side kick, every technique has different angles, different footworks. You can move in all directions while using these techniques. So it's not straight lead, it's not stepping forward. It's not only stepping forward and punch the guy into the face. So you have also to know how you use this technique when you retreat, when you go to left, when you go to right. Okay, So and this is what it's mean to reduce. Okay, and it's for nowadays it's a common knowledge that if you want to become professional in something, you have to put like 10,000 hours in this. Okay, so like let's say you wanna get really good in throwing darts. Okay, so um, normal dart game. Okay, there's tournaments as well. So in order to get good at this, you have to put at least like 10,000 hours. So imagine how many reps you can do in 10,000 hours. Okay, and that's how it works. And now when you know how it works, you can train toward this goal. Now you need, oh man, I can't achieve this if I train Mondays boxing, Tuesdays Muay Thai, Thursdays Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Thursdays I train maybe Wing Chun, and Friday I train what the hell I know, it's kickboxing or anything. So you train, eventually you train every martial art just once a week. And you just stay beginner, okay? So, what's the difference like a JKD and Wing Chun? It's totally different martial arts, okay? Different structure, different techniques, different approach to fighting. Everything is different. So Wing Chun is square. Jeet Kune is more like fencing. Okay. And what help is a Pak Sao in Jeet Kune? So, Pak Sao or general trapping. Okay. So you have to understand. Jeet Kune has 3 basic principles: simplicity, okay, directness, and economy of motion. And economy of motion is efficiency, basically. Okay, that's the same. Because if you have economy in something, that becomes efficient. Okay, but economy of motion is efficiency. So that's why I always say, it's better to understand for people like simplicity, directness, and efficiency. Okay, so efficiency means you put less energy in something and achieve a same result. Okay, so you're not efficient if you like efficient cars have low fuel mileage, how do you say, okay, and inefficient cars, they just waste fuel like nothing. Okay, when it comes to Pak Sao, okay, let's say you go here and somebody blocks your hand. Okay, so in order to use Pak Sao in this situation, you have to go square. So you have to bring your left side towards your opponent to do the Pak Sao here. Okay, let me go back. So you go here, and then you punch. In order to be more efficient, you get blocked. You can attack a different opening, okay, with a different technique, instead of using Pak Sao, because Pak Sao itself doesn't hurt your opponent. Okay, so it gives him actually more time to attack. So that's why you wouldn't use Pak Sao in Jeet Kune. You would attack further the target or the next target. So with no using time, which is the second principle. Okay, directness. Okay, so you go more direct. Pak Sao used to be a thing in Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune, but he kind of went away of that when he went more towards fencing. Okay. P, thanks. How do I learn? Because I'm not interested in what's available. Okay, so less online lesson can help me learn. Yes, if the online lessons are good, yeah. If there's no school, then basically I can't ever really learn. So sorry for my question. No problem. It's difficult. I mean, it's difficult to learn if you have no proper school. That's one of the reasons why we are doing this channel, so we can inform people at least if they can recognize when they go to a so-called Jeet Kune school and they walk in and they see what's trained there, then they can see, okay, that's just mixing of different martial arts. So, okay, or is it proper Jeet Kune? It's hard to learn any martial art like just at home. Okay, even just boxing. So really good boxing. Okay, so nowadays boxing is also kind of watered down. Okay, in its footwork and techniques. Okay, especially footwork. But if you want to learn proper boxing, I mean, there's the best way is to go to a boxing gym. Okay, so it's no brainer. Online lessons can really help you because it depends how into detail they go. Okay, Tommy's online lessons are really super. Okay, so I can really really tell you, okay, if you want to do them, they are going to help you for 100%. But if you want to go beyond that, okay, at some point you would have to go to his school or to his seminars or whatever. Okay. Walter Evans, MMA are spreading themselves to thin over many things. JKD work hard on the simple skeleton key. I mean, Walter, don't focus so much on MMA people. I mean, who cares? Yeah, you know, like, I really don't care what MMA people say. There are some MMA people they praise Bruce Lee. Some MMA people they think they are better than Bruce was, but you know, like they never think about their martial art. They just take what they get from their coaches and they train that. Bruce was different. He was constantly thinking about martial arts and how to make things better, which they never do. They are just receiver of martial arts, and Bruce was more the giver of martial arts. Okay, that's the difference. Lynn, hi Karim. Hi Lynn. Karim sent me. That's nice. Okay, so for all guys, I'm gonna write it here. Wait a second. So go to Karim Davis Films. Okay, so I hope you can read it. Okay. Because Karim Davis, he's a former student of mine, and here you can see I wrote it down. Go to Karim Davis Film. So some of the promo videos we did, he was the guy on camera, okay, and he was editing everything. He does this, so if you want to do some kind of commercial or anything, you can contact him, and he's going to fly straight to you and film stuff and make like a promo video. So that's what he does, also for living, and he helps a lot. Okay, so Walter, concepts Jeet Kune and MMA are both inefficient for high-level danger environment. To deal with random elements need simplicity. Yes, that's true. Because Jeet Kune concepts and MMA, they just don't care about multiple opponents. And that's how you see that they don't care so much about efficiency. Because in order to be able to deal against multiple opponents, okay? And multiple opponents means at least two. You need to be efficient. You can't waste time. You can't waste technique. You can't take it too long on one guy. Okay, so that's why you attack vulnerable targets. It comes all down, comes always to the side kicks, to the knee, groin kicks, groin punches, eye jabs, punching throat, chin. Okay, sometimes temple. So it depends. So that's where you want to go. Okay, and if you have to punch and kick your guy 10 times until he goes down, like with the chain punches, then there's something terribly wrong with the system you're doing. Okay. Sir, how to increase a fighting speed like Bruce Lee? So the best, you have to have the clean technique. Okay, so the technique has to be clean. Then you have to have done enough repetitions, so you have muscle memory. Because if you have done enough repetitions, then you have also you're not tense when doing your technique. Always when you tense up, you get slower. So you have to be relaxed in order to be able to be relaxed when executing your techniques. You have to have done a lot of repetitions. Okay, so everything comes down to have done a lot of enough repetitions. It's, let's say, enough, because for some people need less repetitions, some people need more, but everybody needs a lot. Okay, so that's then you have a really good basic. You can build up your speed so to your own potential. Okay, and then you can also play with using weights for punching and kicking, or resistant bands, so to go even higher than that. Okay, which Bruce did. Okay, he trained, he kicked and punched a lot with weights. Okay, and he used a lot of resistant bands. And I think isometrics helps also for explosivity and acceleration. Rooney, Jeet Kune bare knuckle punch mechanics is different from boxing with glow. Yes, I'm gonna tell you one example. Let me get one pad. So, okay. So you have here your focus mitt, okay? So imagine you're okay, here's the chin, and you punch like this, okay? So now, if you punch like this, like in boxing, can you hear me? So if you punch like this, okay? And when you punch the guy in the face with the fist turned like this, first of all, you have here a bigger opening, okay? Because in order to punch like here with horizontal fist, you have here big opening, so you don't protect your lower part of your upper body. And when you hit the guy like here, the chances are that you hit here with your small knuckle, you see? Not with the full fist, but with the small knuckle. And when you hit here with the small knuckle, when a fist breaks, it usually breaks here at this bone, okay? So, in order to prevent that, you rotate your fist like this, so you can place, you know, like from this side, you can place the fist on the complete chin, on complete jaw, okay, like this. So you hit actually with the bottom 3 knuckles, and not just with, and there's no risk to just hit with this one. Okay, so you don't injure your fist. And the other thing is, when you hook punch like this, okay, you see you have here protection. You have still protection here, a slightly better cover for your ribs, okay, and this part of body, instead of punching like this. That's just one example. There are more examples, but this is old school boxing punch. Okay, this is modern bullshit. When they're starting to use gloves, okay, but all boxing is also like this. It's not Bruce Lee's modification. This comes actually from boxing. You have to differ between old school boxing and modern boxing, and Jeet Kune is more old school boxing when it comes to footwork and close in fighting. Okay. So what do we have here? Joe's Kentucky Funky. Hi, how are you, Joe's? Nice to have you back here. Amazing advice. Loving this live streams. Karen told me you have Patreon. Yes, I have. You can find it if you go to any YouTube video of mine. You go in the description, and then you can find the link of my Patreon. Okay, I can post it here. Wait, why not? Why not post it? I think this works. Videos. Let's just pick one video. Description. There you go. Here. I'm gonna post it here. So it's gonna you're gonna see it in a few seconds. Okay. So okay. P, thank you for answering. No problem. Is Thomas online classes available by phone? I don't have any. Tommy's. You mean Tommy's online lessons? Yes. You can watch them on the phone. You just go to his webpage, and I'm not sure how optimized his webpage is for online lessons. Yeah, but you can watch them there as well. So then through regular browser, okay. There's no app for that. Okay. I live in a big state, and there are no Jeet Kune Do schools that I have found. It's also, but even if you have Jeet Kune Do schools, the most schools are gonna be concept schools, because even Ted Wong Jeet Kune Do is a lot like sport focused. It's nothing like street fighting, which is sadly, I don't know why Ted Wong went this road, but he himself said on 2 occasions, 2 seminars, with a lot of witnesses, he said twice that what he was teaching was sport fighting. So, okay. Walter, Karim is good, made good films, promotion for Tommy and IFO. Yes, he made 2 or 3 movies for my school and as well for Tommy's school back then. Sidali Bektoli, thank you, sir. No problem, you're welcome. He asks, how can I control the distance and timing? It means what's timing in fight? Okay, so the timing is using a right moment to attack. Okay, that's timing. So usually you want to utilize a lot of intercepting in Jeet Kune Do. Okay, so let my sit back. Nice, so I can lay down a bit. So usually you want to utilize a lot of intercepting in Jeet Kune Do. So what you can do, you keep a distance that is for your opponent too far away. So in order for him to attack you, can you even hear the background music? So in order for him to attack you, he would have to do a step. Okay, so let me do the music a bit louder. So it shouldn't be too loud. Okay, just like a lounge music. So in order for him to attack you, you have to make sure he has to do a step. So because if you're too close, he can attack you without a step. You have no chance to react. It's simply too close. So you have to keep your distance. And now, at the moment he shifts his weight forward to do the step, you attack immediately into the step and you intercept the guy. That would be the moment. And for this you need your trained timing. Okay. What was the other part of the question? Yes, that's control the distance. So you make sure he doesn't come too close, and he wants to come close. So you step back, and he comes to close the gap, and you attack into the step. Okay, immediately. Jack, how long have you been training JKD for? Now about 25 years. So I started when I was 17. Now I'm 43, so 26 years. P, yes, you said Bruce did sports science of Brown, etc. I think that's why no one bothers with Jeet Kune Do. Too complicated. But Bruce was a master genius with his complex. But well, Jeet Kune Do is actually not complicated. It's simple. But most people, for some reason, martial artists, they search for complex things. They think all these nice techniques where you do all these wrapping hands and you know, and even you see even so, look, even if you watch MMA, the most successful techniques in MMA are always the simplest ones. It's always the punch that lands on the chin. It's always the kick that lands on a vulnerable spot. It's always a grappling technique that is the most simple one, and not some complicated, and not some techniques that you need some complicated preparation for it. So even there, in this, set of rules, the most simple things work the most often. Okay. Naz. Hi Naz. Hi Thomas. He has hi Thomas. Great stream. Very interesting. Interesting. Also hi from Karen. Yeah. Is Karen going to come as well? Charid Rice. Sir, I'm in Indian, but I love Jeet Kune and the few knowledge of this fight and skills, and how to improve fighting skills of Jeet Kune. How teach a Jeet Kune from your classes. So I don't really understand what you're asking now, because I just teach in my school. I don't teach like online. I just teach few people in Frankfurt. Okay, and I do this YouTube channel. Okay. Rooney Wong. Okay, so Misanthrope. Hey Thomas, cool to see your stream. Thank you for being here. So remember, guys, you can support me. You can support me in Patreon. You can send me also support via PayPal. In the description of this stream, you can also find a link for this. So always welcome for that. Of course, we all need money, but you don't have to. So don't feel forced. Okay. Walter Evans, I've seen hybrid systems that launch the weapon while leaving the body open like that. Old school boxing would have that covered. Ah, you mean this? Yeah. Many systems. I mean, the Bruce was like this. Okay, so he saw a technique, and the first thing what he was thinking about, he saw the flaws of the technique, and how can you make the technique better. So you eliminate the flaws, you immediately make it better. Okay, so like let's say boxing jab, the flaw is it's too weak, so you would need a proper push shuffle with your left leg and turn in the hip in the right moment and everything, this and a falling step and so on. So okay, just an example. Okay. P, very interesting, very good details you're telling. You're welcome. Thanks. I've missed your live streams till now. You can watch them because they are all online, so I don't delete the streams. You can just go back. There's a playlist. You can find all streams with the date on it. So I have, this is the third one. I just started recently. Misanthrope, I've joined your training recently for a day. Really enjoyed it. Ah, okay. See, I know now where you are. Okay, your teachings and the way you share your knowledge is absolutely amazing. So, Karen told me that you guys were amazed how we go into the details. So naturally, when somebody does a trial training, I don't bother the guy too much, because you can give him or her too much information on the first day. So if you brain blows up. But Jeet Kune, in order to learn Jeet Kune, you have to know all the details and how the body mechanics work and everything. And this comes over years, so you can't learn everything just in a few weeks. Okay. Roland Diaz, how would you respond to critics who say Tommy does not pressure test? I would respond like this. Misanthrope, learned really much by joining only 2 hours. Thank you very much. You're welcome. That's what I do. I teach, okay? So, but generally people have no so much interest in Jeet Kune. P, yes, I only want the original Bruce Lee talked, and Bruce was about street. Me too, thanks. Yes, Bruce was all about street fighting. Even Inosanto said in an interview, okay, that Bruce's favorite technique was a finger jab for street fighting. Okay. And it's important to stick to Jeet Kune Do principles, because if you stick to Jeet Kune Do principles, there's not much you can do wrong, you know, apart of missing body mechanics or not knowing how really body mechanics go and footwork. But maybe our organization can thrive in future, so more people can join us and the training and train this. It's louder than you. What is louder than me? The music? No, music. Is music too loud? Okay, so let's put. Oh, I'm too loud now. I have to watch not to scream. So you go here into the yellow. I have here colors. It should stay green. Then I'm not too loud. Okay. Roland Diaz. Hi, Roland. How are you? People online are saying Ted Wong and Jesse Glover are not certified by Bruce Lee to teach. Yes. So here's the thing. Jesse Glover was allowed to teach. He asked actually Bruce Lee, "Can I teach?" And Bruce said, "You can, but don't use Junfang Kung Fu as a name for the stuff you're teaching." Okay, that's how Jesse used non-classical Kung Fu. He never used Bruce Lee's. At that time, Bruce Lee's martial art was Junfang Kung Fu. Okay, so which is basically modified Wing Chun, and Ted Wong, I'm not sure if he was certified. He had a rank, but nobody was certified to teach, to open a school and teach. Nobody had that certification. Okay, not even in Osanto. So you have to remember, Bruce died. He was 32 years old. He wasn't like 65, and now he was making instructors in order to build up people who can teach after he dies. He was 11 years younger than I'm now. So he did not make any instructor in order to keep a legacy of Jeet Kune Do, because he was the only one who was doing that. So remember that. Nobody had the permission to teach Jeet Kune Do. Even in Osanto had only a permission to teach few people and not to teach publicly Jeet Kune Do. And then Bruce died. So, okay. So these people are just misinformed, or they're intentionally misinformed in sake for argument. Red Mask, animation. Oh, is certification important? Okay, so this... Usually the certification is going to be important. So imagine you go to a doctor who is not certified in medicine. Would you go to this guy? Okay. Your knee is busted, you need a surgery. And then you go to a doctor and he said, I have no medical certification in surgery, but I'm gonna do the surgery anyway. You're gonna, well, fuck, no. I'm going to some guy who has actually studied medicine and is able to do this stuff. And so now imagine, Jeet Kune Do is the same. If you want to learn proper Jeet Kune Do, you want to a guy who is properly certified. And now comes the problem number 2, because Jeet Kune Do is not something that is regulated by law and by state, which medicine is. Okay, so you have, in medicine you have to have certain standards and to be able to achieve this certification. In Jeet Kune Do you don't have this. So basically anybody can certify everybody. So my neighbor can give you a Jeet Kune Do certification with his name on it. And nobody is going to care. Even he has never trained Jeet Kune Do. And there are guys that just go to seminars, you know. Imagine I give you a seminar, a 2-day seminar, like 10 hours of training, and it's an instructor seminar, and I say you have to attend the seminar and you have to attend me. You have to pay me 1,000 grand or 1 grand, okay? And you have to attend the seminar 10 hours, and afterwards I'm going to give you instructor certificate. And then you have instructor certificate with my name on it. And you can promote yourself with this. But how is your quality of Jeet Kune Do teaching really? Because you have done only 10 hours? It's impossible. You can go to a medical seminar for 10 hours and become a doctor. But this is how Jeet Kune actually works nowadays. And that's why the quality is just bad. Okay? Really, really bad. Okay? Certifications should be important, but certifications are misused nowadays. It's just like you buy a certification. Okay? It's a falsified certification. Okay? It took me 10 years to become an instructor on the Tommy. A full instructor. 10 years. Okay. Where are we? Karim sent me a question. Do you think a professional boxer would fare far better in the streets than an MMA trained fighter? It depends. It depends on the guy. It's man, both styles are not made for street fighting. There is a video of in Brazilian. There were 2 MMA professional fighters involved in a street fight, and one was put into coma. There were 2 guys, and they were defeated by non-martial artists because they were outnumbered, and other guys attacked them with chairs and sticks and whatever, and they just lost because they were never and I have done a video of this analyzing this. Okay, so and they did so many mistakes, and starting with keeping wrong distance at the beginning and everything. So there's no, I mean, the chances are maybe better than to survive a situation like this compared to an untrained person. But it's you don't train in MMA or in boxing for this. Okay, so if you're a good boxer, if you can change from one opponent to other and you land clean shots, you can of course survive. So the chat is going faster than I can answer the questions. Roland Diaz, would you recommend people buy Tao of Jeet Kune book? You can buy it, but you can't learn. I have also here, I have 2. I have one English one and German one. You can't learn Jeet Kune from that. I think if you buy this one, so you buy this book. Okay, so look what I just opened a random page, and look what Bruce is doing here. He's kicking into the groin. Okay, so he's here evading a side kick, which I actually done a video recently about this. Evading a side kick, and then as the opponent lands his kick, he's kicking him to the groin. Okay, this is not me. This is not Tommy Carruthers. This is Bruce Lee, and this is what he was teaching, guys. Okay, so if you get this book, you can understand. But this is like pictures from 1967, like 6 years before he died. He changed some things after that, so even he became more compact, more mobile, even than from this book. You can see here some basic trapping. But you can buy this and study this. And then you can take a Tao of Jeet Kune as complement to that, okay? Funny thing, yeah? I just opened a random page, and what was doing Bruce Lee there? He was kicking the guy from behind into the groin. And now people's gonna say, this technique doesn't work, but they have a like Jeet Kune name over their school. What's your opinion on Frank Dux? I think Frank Dux has. This is my opinion. Okay, he's got some serious psychological problems because he was caught so much lying. Walter, I think the reason Ted Wong went for sport boxing were for economic reasons, not practical functionality reasons. He had to put his son through university, or original Jeet Kune had not enough customers. I don't know, because you know Ted Wong, he worked at NASA. I don't think he was underpaid. I don't think if that was the reason. I mean, how American university works is sucks really, because you have to pay everything by yourself, or you have to take a student loan. Here in Western Europe, you don't have to pay this. You can also take some loan, and you just pay a fraction of that back. But usually universities in Germany are for free. They used to test that like 10 years ago, and they made the university partially not free, and then the number of students just went down. So, but you want as many as people as possible educated usually. And also in some countries you want to keep people stupid, and that's when the education costs a lot of money. Roland Diaz, what are Jeet Kune concepts, guys like Wunak, Baliki, arguments for the effective use of trapping? Well, they say there are some situations you can use trapping, or in close quarters you can use trapping. But in close quarters you can use hooks far better than trapping. Okay. So you hook the guy, you knock him out instead of patting his hands 5 times or something. Okay. So that's no argument for me. Trapping is going always to be less direct than hooks. And with hooks you can move to the side, and you're moving target and you attack at the same time. P, that makes sense. MMA I don't like. No simple techniques, thanks. Good answer, I learned. You're welcome. Jack, Jeet Kune works better for me than boxing. When I started with boxing, I couldn't beat Taekwondo or Karate in sparring, but with Jeet Kune I can. Boxing is limited, okay? So you don't have kicks, you can't attack from greater distance. But in terms of hand combat, boxing is probably the best. That's how Bruce also adopted it, okay? But also remember, it's not this modern boxing. Modern boxing lacks footwork a lot, and this is like from the 90s. This started in the 90s, okay? So it's like Mike Tyson was one of the last boxers who utilized footwork far better than anybody else, okay? And I don't have even to talk about Muhammad Ali. Roland Diaz, does Tommy have instructors in China or Japan? Yes, in China he does have. I'm gonna show you something. Show you something. So here I have all people listed in the IFO. So head instructor Tommy, full instructor, that's me in Germany, and Kane Brown in Glasgow. This is a guy that he's also in Tommy's school. Then we have intermediate instructors, Paul Brooks, Fabian from UK, Michael Sievert from Germany, Neil Shi from China. So Neil Shi is one in China. Joseph Wang in Shanghai. So these 2 guys are intermediate instructors. Then we have some guys from Spain and Italy, Alessandro, Antonio. And then we have here apprentice instructors, Eric from Germany. He's not active as far as I know. Michael Van Damme, he's apprentice. I think Michael Van Damme is now intermediate instructor, so I have to move him in the list 1 up. He became recently intermediate. And Nico Yeo, Singapore, and there are no Chinese guys below that. Yeah. So these are all guys who teach in the IFO. Here group leaders, basically. Okay, here apprentice instructors, intermediate instructors, full instructors. Be reminded, Michael Van Damme from Holland, he is actually intermediate instructor right now. I have to fix that. Okay, so Roland Diaz, what are your thoughts on DKO's abilities? Forget about that guy. It's very much a lot of this is show. Can you throw a powerful straight lead without conditioning your knuckle first? You can, but it depends what you hit. You should condition your knuckle. Okay, so here. Okay, that's the difference, because I don't do a lot conditioning in my left, mostly right. Okay. Sharad Rai, sir, please give me a phone number, and sir, where are you live, which country? No, I can't give you my phone number, although my phone number is here on the web page, but you can always reach me via email, okay? So because if we phone each other, so I have to pay as well, okay? So every cost that's within German borders, I have to pay as well. Walter Evans, Royal Diaz, Jesse may not have been certified by Bruce to teach. Jeet Kune is his own non-classical Kung Fu. Yeah, I explained that. Like I said, I mean, Bruce did not certify any instructor, okay? So they are just ranks, okay? So you reach one rank, but you're not allowed to open a Jeet Kune school. As long as Bruce was alive, you couldn't open a Inosanto couldn't open a Jeet Kune school. He was running, he was teaching in a school when in Bruce's school, okay? So that's different. But then, because these schools, they didn't really made any profit, and when Bruce went to Hong Kong to make movies, that when he started to make a good income, he closed all this school. And like this argument, he closed this school because he didn't want to stylize Jeet Kune is totally nonsense. He closed this school because these schools weren't profitable. So you pay rent and you have no income. Okay. Yeah. So my daughter is here. Okay. Walter Evans. Hey, Dan didn't either not have him. Okay. So P. They did not have certification. I have seen on YouTube they did. I thought Inosanto did. Like I said, it was a rank certification. I watched a lot. Thank you, clearing up. Bruce went too much trouble to develop. Okay, James Danovich. Hi, James. I had to remind a bit here. Back to the walking towards you. Towards you, he kicks him in the nuts. When he kicks the attacker, it doesn't even look like an attacker yet. When he kicks him in the nuts. Are you talking about the video I did yesterday? I uploaded yesterday. Well, actually, if somebody comes towards you suddenly, okay, then you can attack him, because a random person just closing towards you, this is already an attack, okay? So, no. So guys, okay, let's continue. Well, James, I don't understand your question, really. Can you ask it again? Simplify more. Roland Diaz, thoughts on Jerry Potit's Jeet Kune students or instructors? Not very impressed. A lot of Wing Chun. Mixed Wing Chun with I don't know what. Okay, so... Walter Evans, if everybody allowed to certify everybody else with no qualified control of Jeet Kune, that maybe they should start business manufacturing toilet paper. Yes, a lot of JKD certificates are actually as worth as toilet paper is. Roland Diaz, how many full instructors does Tommy have today? Like I showed you, you can see two. One is myself, and the other one is Kane Brown in Glasgow. So he is a student of Tommy in Tommy's school. He doesn't teach himself. He trains at Tommy's school. So just we, okay? Misanthrope. Certification is enormously important. If you receive training advices by somebody who is not really into technique, you end up much more hurting during trying to perform than whatever comes. Yeah, that's just one aspect of it. Okay, so but like I said, in Jeet Kune being certified, a lot of people have just fraud certifications. Okay, they have certifications, but they're still not certified. P, I found you in listening and liked your analysis, and it seemed you were closed. You were close to street fighting I had seen. I don't think economy is what destroys martial arts, but economy isn't. Economy can just help you. You mean economy of motion, or economy in sense of state politics? Ronnie Wong, how to fight a guy wearing a Batman suit? Kick through the knee. There's nothing he can protect his knees. Okay, even he has protectors. The protection is only on the surface, but you can still bend the knee. P, by who is that? Okay, I don't know. Carl Starker. Hi Carl, how are you, man? Are there any kind of special exercise to improve strength and power in punching? Yes, you can use resistant bands. Okay, so you use the same mechanics you would use when you punch or kick, but you have extra resistance with the resistant bands, which are they are attached, so you can, or you can use them also. You hold them with the left and use with the right. Okay, there are some different exercises. Tommy has also online lessons for resistant bands. You can go to his page, www.tommykarutas.com. Okay, and there are online lessons, like 5, 6, 7 lessons I know with resistant bands, so you can see how you can use this. James, Batman suit, step on the cape, or do the finger jab. You can punch the chin. Off topic. Is German healthcare really good? Yes. Okay, so I had 2 years ago. No. Yes. Now 2 years ago, I had a surgery in my lower back, disc surgery, and I had to pay nothing. And now I'm healthy. So when you work, okay, you get paid. You have like your brutto income, and from that, a part of your pay goes to your insurances, and like half of the costs you pay, and half of the costs of your monthly income pays your boss, okay, your company where you work, and it doesn't matter how much you pay for your insurance. If you have low income, you pay less. If you have higher income, you pay a higher percentage. And it doesn't matter how low you pay, even if it's just $50 a month, okay, and you pay 25 and your boss pays 25, you always 100% covered, okay. When something you don't have to pay yourself for some medical some drugs. You have to pay a little bit, but it's not really big of a deal. Joe Kentucky Funky, will you give teaching in Australia? No, I'm not going to teach in Austria, because Tommy only does seminars outside. I only do seminars inside of Germany. Okay, Petros Taurabis. I hope it's kind of right. I read that. Hi from Greek. You're welcome. Petros, I very like Bruce Lee. We all like Bruce Lee here. Roland Diaz, do you recall the real trapping choreography with Brandon Lee in movie Rapid Fire? So this is not, you know, the funny thing about this is we were talking about this when you go to a concept school and they teach you trapping they go through these sequences, and it's always the same. So like since 40 years, you have this a sequence 1, and then there's a sequence 2, and then there's a sequence 3, and that's what you have seen basically in the Rapid Fire movie, because Brandon Lee was talked by Santo at that point. And then please tell you how realistic this bullshit is, because it's BS. It's beyond BS. It's on the level, to me, it's on the level these guys that can knock out you without touching you. That's almost on the same level, if you ask me. There's no connection to reality at all. My speak Shannon Lee. What do you, Petros? What do you think about Shannon Lee? What's the question, Walter? Aha. I think Thomas has a little helper in the background. Yes, that's my daughter. My small daughter. She's 4. I have a 9-year-old. She's gonna get 10 soon. Roland Diaz, is your daughter and every child talked English in Germany? No. But because they watch a lot of YouTube and English videos, they can a little bit English and they understand some of it. But most of people learn English in school, or French, sometimes even Spanish. English is like the biggest second language. Roland, off topic. In German university, free or paid? Free. It's free. Acoustic. Hi, Acoustic. How old are you when you learned? I was 17 when I started to learn Jeet Kune or to train Jeet Kune, and I trained it by myself. I used this. I trained karate before that, a bit judo as well, and then I got these books and I started to train Jeet Kune by myself and with some friends. Okay, and 10 years later I went to Tommy. And since 15 years I'm under Tommy. Jack, he said he was 17. Yeah. Petros, hi, I'm still Bruce Lee 12 years. I don't understand what you're saying there. My still Bruce Lee 12 years. My style? Okay, I don't know. Jack, is fighting 3 opponents much harder than 2? Depends. It's the same. You just need one more target, or you have one more target. Okay, but it's the same idea how you approach this. Okay. Usually when you knock out the 2 guys, the third guy is going to think about it if he's going to attack you further. But this happened actually to a guy of ours in the organization. He had to fight 3 guys and he knocked out 2, and other guy ran away. He eventually come back because he went behind the wall and he attacked him from behind. But he was thinking that the third guy just went away. Roland Diaz, does Tommy have a school or just teach seminars? He does have a school with few students in Glasgow. Hi Karim, how are you? Hope everyone is well. Thomas had an operation on his back and within weeks he was back to fighting fit. Well, it was actually within a few months. It took me about half a year to start training again, because it wasn't fun really. Hi Daka. I was earlier, but I had to step out. How is it going, Thomas? Well, it's going well. I'm answering questions. Thought on Tim Tuckett Wednesday night group. Not impressed. Okay. Tommy was once on visit there. He was for 2 weeks there. He was invited. Actually, he trained with them for 2 weeks. It was like many years ago. And then they claimed, some stupid things about him, because he didn't give them any credit. But what they do is, it's like mix mucks. I don't know. You can see watch their videos. Okay, so you see how efficient they are in what they're doing. Karim, I remember getting his snap back with a couple of practices. That is dedication together with understanding how the body works. Yes. Anyone wanting to learn, you are in the best place. You're no bullshit. Thank you, Karim. I have already... remember, Karim, I was told I send you his name so you can visit his YouTube. He's got a YouTube page. He's streaming some old school video games and some new as well, but mostly old school. And he does all this video promotion stuff, so you can book him. Mardashius Moore. Why do people say that this quote, I don't fear the man who did 10,000 kicks once, I fear the man. Okay, so the quote goes, I don't fear the man who did 10,000 kicks once, so 10,000 different kicks once. I fear the man who did one kick 10,000 times. And that's Jeet Kune. Okay, so reducing to the most important things and training a lot of that. Okay. Yeah, they don't understand one trick ponies. Who says that? Nobody said that at any point into my face. You can only find people on the internet. Roland Diaz, did you have to wait months or years before getting to the surgery like in Canada? No. I was injured and I got my surgery like 1 week later. So I couldn't walk basically. So they had to do the surgery quickly. And also, I think the thing with Canadian healthcare is also a myth that is spread in the US by people who are advocating against basic healthcare. Fitness for Average Joe, David. Hi. Hi, David. It looks like you had a moment of synchrocism when you opened the page of the book and it landed. Oh, look, let's try this again. Okay, now you see the straight lead there, okay? So let's go again. Oh, look, the guy steps forward and Bruce intercepts with a straight lead. Ah, look, he's evading and he's countering. Okay, so it's always simple and not complicated. What is Daka? What is a scoop kick? Roland Diaz, do you think karate and other styles teach useless karate or forms rather than simplify to make money? I mean, if you talk about Shotokan karate training curriculum is fixed. They do always the same. So you have your belt system. You know, like in my school, it was I used to train Shotokan. Okay, so you have a belt system: white, yellow, orange, green, purple. First one purple, second one purple, then first brown, second brown, third brown, and then you have the first dan black belt. And the training you go through is always the same. So you have for each purple for each belt degree, you have a new kata you have to learn, and you have to do some partner exercises you have to learn for that, and some free fighting. Okay, so That's basically the curriculum of karate. So it's basically always the same. It should be always the same. If you do this Shotokan, you should go through the similar program. Doesn't matter the school. Okay. So that's how they teach. Okay, simplifying Leto, Leto, Enchanted. Hi Leto. Karim Davis Films sent me here. He threatened me actually, so I left a like. Thank you very much. He mentions good things from your channel, so I thought I'd stop by. Thank you. So I hope you have a little bit interest in martial arts or Bruce Lee. Daka, are there any spinning back kicks in the IFO? We don't teach them because it's not so much practical in Jeet Kune. I used to train a lot of this. I can do them basically, but I don't teach them. That's I mean, spanning back kick. When would you do that instead of side kick the guy to the knee? Okay. Dakataino spinning back kicks would be too uneconomical. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Mardicius Moore, why did Bruce Lee learn judo and grappling? He used to train this in his younger age, I think. But that should be like, you know, probably the time where Bruce did more experiment with styles. But when he actually when Bruce looked in other styles, he looked actually more into their weaknesses and how to fight these styles, and not to incorporate these styles. Because when you look at the grappling drawings from Bruce in the Tao book, you can see that these are actually fighting scenes, sequences, because you can see the same sequences you can find in his movies, in his particular the last movie where he was actually not finished before he died. You can see the same grappling sequences. It's not actually what he trained, and he looked into other styles, into its weaknesses and how to fight against these guys if needed. Okay. Davis, Karim, I thank you very much, Thomas. You're welcome. But hopefully we get to make our next video soon. So guys, get ready. Well, let's see. Let's see about that. Roland Diaz, do you believe Chuck Norris is the one who taught Bruce Lee kick? No, because the time frame doesn't match. At the time when Bruce met Chuck Norris for the first time and they trained together, which was actually Bruce trained Chuck Norris. It was other way around. And Chuck Norris claimed that he taught Bruce Lee high kicks, but this was after the Green Hornet. So Bruce did Green Hornet, and then he met Chuck Norris. But when you look at the Green Hornet fighting scenes, you can see a lot of high kicks of Bruce Lee, and this typical Bruce Lee high kicks that you also can see in his later movies. You can see already in Green Hornet, and one was Green Hornet made 1964 or something. So it doesn't make any sense. He did already high kicks, then he met Chuck Norris, and Chuck Norris, he claimed he taught Bruce Lee high kicks. Okay, so how is this? It doesn't fit together. Okay, if you were a detective and you find this and you bring this before court and you ask Chuck Norris, so you claim this, but this is the fact. How does this fit together? And Chuck Norris here, I'm not going to answer this question. I need an attorney. Daka, do you use rear punches, kicks in long range? No. Rear punches you use in the mid range if your front hand is stuck for some reason, and same is for the rear kicks. Same idea. Okay, same idea. Rear kicks you use. Sometimes, let's say you kick front kick and it gets deflected. Okay, and then you turn with your left side to immediately continue with the rear kick. Okay, that's when you could use the rear leg, because the front leg is naturally closer to your opponent and you would use it more often. Roland, can you show an example in the book of how Bruce Lee was compact compared to his later style? Oh, you can actually see that. When you look at his stance, you see the stance here. Wait a second. So see the stance here. You see the hand, how the hand is far forward, okay? So the front hand. And the elbow is far away from the body. And even the elbow of the left hand is not on the body. Okay? It's like more like this. Like this instead of like this. And front hand is like this instead of like this. And then there's a picture actually, him standing in on guard. But this picture was added later. So in this picture you can find only in this edition. In original books, that picture is not there. So let's see if I can find this. It's somewhere in the middle, if I can remember right. Because this is the added part. Let me see. Because five ways of attack by Ted Wong was added here in this book. I don't want to spend too much time searching for this. Oh, it is 339, page 339. And this book is almost 400. It's more than 400 pages. Ah, here. Now, this is the more proper stance. This one. So this one, you see how his front hand is, the elbow is tucked into the upper body, and his left hand is also more compact. Okay, and now on he does here the straight lead. Okay, so this stance is more representative to the later style of Bruce Lee. Okay, but the legs are a bit too far away. This would be also more compact, but you don't know what the pictures that is. Is he moving? Is he doing some steps? Okay, but this stance is more representative to the later Jeet Kune Do. Okay, so okay, so guys, you're writing too much. I can't catch up. Okay. So there you go. Okay, Walter Evans, you're talking to somebody else. Jeet Kune Do versus Kuramaga, Jeet Kune Do. Madicious Moore, Walter Evans, okay. Fitness for the average Joe. David, I'm fine, excellent stream, very cool. I landed on the straight lead the second time. Thank you very much. Daka, the scoop kick is target towards the groin, but it has a circular motion. Is it like a sweep kick? Okay. He used on squared opponents. Some original Jeet Kune Do people use that. Scoop kick. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what kick this is. P, I was trying to ask the name and author of that book. I have not seen that book on G Books. Okay, so the author is Emuhara, I think. Yes, here. Bruce Lee and Emuhara. Emuhara was a student of Bruce Lee for many years. Bruce did all the pictures in this book. Bruce did himself. Like there were over 2,000 pictures. And Bruce planned to make a JKD book, okay? So he did these pictures in 1967. But according to Shannon Lee, he went away from this idea because he was afraid. So the people are going to take this book and going to use this book to open schools and teach Jeet Kune Do, okay? So he scrapped the idea. But when Bruce died, okay, so they all had these pictures. So the family had these pictures, and they felt It may be okay. It may be a bad idea. So not to public these pictures in the form of a book. So Jeet Kune Do doesn't get lost entirely. Okay. So they took then Emuhara, his former student, to take the pictures to put them in order that makes sense, and write a text to it and book and explanations. So that's how this book came together. So Bruce made the books. All the explanation came from Emuhara. Okay, so his former student. Okay. Roland Diaz, would Tommy make a 12 years old a full instructor? Such a 12 years old black belt in karate? No way. There's no chance. Not in 1 million years. Daka, thoughts on Fukyong teaching Bruce Lee? Yeah, I think that was still back in the Wing Chun days. Yeah, so they I think they did some exchange. Bruce did learn from him. But I don't know much about that because, it's not Jeet Kune Do, so who cares? Marcel Götz. Hey Marcel, wie geht's dir, Mann? Was machst du hier? It's my former colleague. I left the company. I left him alone. Now he's crying. Hey. Oh my god. He lives here nearby, like a few streets away from me. Roland Diaz, do Germans really have more analytical minds and make better engineers or Jeet Kune Do instructors? I wouldn't say that. So because American schools are actually pretty good. All these universities and everything. But the thing is, because of the system and the structure, not everybody is able to participate there. So you lose a lot of talents. You have to understand, many people who don't have money or whose parents don't have any money, they just gute Besserung, Mann. They just don't get the chance. So you use a lot like actually potential clever people. I would say that's the thing. So JKD is simplified version to Krav Maga, but more effective. That's not true. JKD is nothing like Krav Maga. Nothing. Okay. Daka, Chuck Norris has been taught many lies. That's true, yeah. But these guys, they have just egos, so they have to boost their egos for some reason. I mean, if Bruce was my teacher, Joe Louis is one of them. If Bruce was my teacher and he was, it's like I say now, I'm better than Tommy. I could fight Tommy, even if that was true. Why would I say this? It's stupid. Why would you claim this? Stupid. 90% of the stuff I know about Jeet Kune Do comes from Tommy. So why wouldn't I give credit to him? Totally idiotic. Okay. I don't have the ego. Yep. My god. Chuck Norris didn't teach Bruce high kick. It was I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this high kicks. I mean, the Bruce had idea. High kicks isn't really a part of Jeet Kune Do anyway, so. Daka, wow, the new edition Bruce Lee Method book was upgraded. Yes, they added some stuff. Hey, Google, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Many lies when it comes to Bruce. Yes. Chuck Norris didn't teach Bruce high kicks. Okay. Roland Diaz, does this new book contain more pictures and contact than the original 4 books? I don't think so. This picture that I show you right now, that was new. That wasn't in there, but in general it's the same. Chris Bach, hi Chris, welcome here. What do you think people like John Little and Jeet Kune people from the USA admire Sean Long Wong so much? I don't really know. I mean, John Little has a lot of knowledge about Bruce Lee in sense of his biography because he had um, all the notes from Bruce. He could copy all them basically and took them to his home, analyze it, and order them by dates because a lot of Bruce Lee notes were outdated. You know, like notes he used to do during his Wing Chun time are totally different than the notes he used to do in like 1972. Okay, and that's but he has a lot of knowledge about Bruce Lee in as far as biography, but as far as fighting, I don't think so. And Wang Shang Long, okay. Oh, this guy used to be a boxer before he did Wing Chun, so. And Wang Shang Long, he warned actually Bruce about boxers, so he told him when Bruce went when he was 18, he went from Hong Kong to USA. He told to Bruce to watch out when it comes to boxers. They were dangerous. Karim, so my friends, nice to meet you. Hopefully, oh, you're going to run. Okay, so have fun with running, Karim. I see you. Risbach. And what do you think about the Yip Man movies in the Hong Kong movie industry? Always tries to portray Yip Man superior to Bruce Lee. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I like some of Yip Man movies in terms of entertaining, but that's all. The funny thing is when he met Bruce Lee for the first time, Bruce was already like Bruce. Okay, so what? Fitness, David Urbina. What I meant to say is that when you open the page of the book the second time, that it landed on the straight lead punch. Yeah, you see, the book contains only mostly stuff like that. So, Walter, best wishes, Karim. Okay, Chris Bach. Mito Ohara is the founder of Black Belt. Oh yeah, that's true. He's also Black Belt magazine founder. He told John Little Bruce was superior to all others, be Chuck Norris, Joe Louis, Mike Stone, Gene LaBelle, and me. Of course, man. I mean, I can see that. Marcel, bist du immer noch da? Gute Besserung mit der Corona, gell? True Serum, hi through. Thanks, Thomas, for my great information. You're welcome. Pete, thank you. Appreciate it. I wanted to see his drawings. Roland, do Germans really pay 50% of their paychecks to attend that? That's not true. That's not true. If you will earn a lot of money, the highest taxes rate is 48%. It doesn't get higher than that. Okay, but you have to learn a lot to earn a lot of money. But now I'm gonna tell you a fact. In the 50s and 60s, the highest tax rate in America was 90%. 90%. That was the time where state was able to pay for hospitals, for bridges, for streets and everything. And then in the 70s, when the Ronald Reagan administrations came, they gave the first big tax cut to wealthy people. And from then, it just went downwards. The USA had the tax rate for over 90% back in the 50s, 60s, and even in the 70s, I think. So you can look that up in Google. Karl Starke, Thomas, thanks for answering about power. Can you elaborate about the books 5 from Tommy? I don't. I have it somewhere. I don't know where these books are. I would have to look for these books because we have moved at one point to this place. I already had that book, so I have no idea where these books are, so to tell you the truth. And is there a book with Bruce Lee training methods? Here this is the book with Bruce Lee training methods. And also look up for John Little's books about Jeet Kune, and there are 2 or 3 books, so there are a lot of training methods in terms of weightlifting, running that Bruce did. Roland Diaz, does Tommy have other interests aside from Jeet Kune? Yes. Military? His father was a professional military, and everything that goes with that. Guns, weapons, tanks, planes, but more Second World War era. Daka, there are some pictures of Bruce doing high kicks before coming to the USA. Yeah, you have them. You have also in that book some high kicks. So, David Urbina, I really enjoyed the intellectual conversation you present on our stream. Thank you very much. And your correct education is very important. Education is always important. So, it's important. People are misled about Jeet Kune for over like 40 years. Even the information is available mostly. Okay, so we are just presenting this, and we are getting attacked a lot because of that. And you know, the bigger my channel gets, the more attacked I'm going to get. So just support. Thank you. Chris Bach, kein Problem, bitteschön. Roland Diaz, was Bruce Lee inspired to use boxing by his friends Leo Fong after fight with Wong Jackman? I don't know. But Bruce was aware of boxing like through Wong Chong Long, so it's not his first contact. I know people like to give credit to themselves, pointing Bruce Lee in certain direction. You know, many do this. You can't really say, because Bruce was thinking by himself constantly about martial arts, you know, and he had tons of books about boxing before probably he met Leo. Daka, last stream you briefly mentioned the flip kick. Ah, yeah, is that this, what you mean with the scoop kick? That's the flip kick. Okay. Walter, every 100% I have learned of Jeet Kune comes from Tommy. Lol, John Little is a historian of Bruce Lee, and that's not the same. That's true. Daka, question. What part of the foot make contact with the target? Also, I've seen Tommy use this kick, but don't understand how he gets the power. As it looks, there's no hip rotation. There's always hip rotation. I mean, when you kick to the groin, you don't need much power. What contact? I mean, with the foot, with any part of the foot, when you make contact, it's enough. Okay, so middle part of the foot usually, and when you do the side kick, it's the heel you want to make contact with. Roland Diaz, thoughts on Joe Louis saying he is the only true Jeet Kune student because he actually, yeah, because Jeet Kune is street fighting. He used it in kickboxing. Can foreigners go to Germany to attend free university? No, you have to have some paperwork. So if you are within the EU, you can, because EU is basically now like one country. But if you come from the US, you can't just attend a university. There are some legal exceptions how you can do that, but it's not like you go here and you can go to a university. Like student extension, you know, there are some programs that universities send their students to the US, and the US came to the university, then, you know, things like that. Walter, Roland Diaz, the difference are there are differing accounts as to Leo's input. Is it true that Bruce spoke to Leo about after Wong Jackman fight? But it's also true that Bruce had analyzed boxing before he knew Leo. Yes. Chris, I have I have the German version of the fighting method. I had these as well, and I gave it to a guy like 20 years ago, and I never got them back. Is it in the English complete edition something which is not in the German part 4 version from Falcon? Not really. There's a additional 5 ways of attack narrated by Ted Wong. Other than that, it's the same. Alsadia Midclass, welcome. What do you think about Wing Chun EVTO? Not very much. Roland Diaz, is it cheap to set up a Jeet Kune studio? No, that's not cheap. That's not cheap. Otherwise, I would already have it. Chris Bach Inosanto and his son-in-law Rombaliki were exposed as liars. They claimed Bruce Lee knew Steven Seagal through Coburn, but in 1986 interview with Coburn emerged, and Coburn said he met Steven in 1983. I mean, yeah, well, you know, there's a rumor that the certificate of Inosanto isn't actually real, because when you look at the certificate, you can find a copy of his certificate. You can see the signature of Bruce Lee on that certificate is B. Lee. It's not full name Bruce Lee. And many people find it unlikely that Bruce would sign a highest rank certificate for his student with just B. Lee instead of Bruce Lee. And I have also heard that Inosanto has a similar handwriting like Bruce, and that there's a possibility that this is actually a falsificate. It's not real. That's the first. Okay, that's just what I heard. We don't know if it's true. The second thing is that I just forgot what I wanted to say. So yeah, the second thing is because Inosanto was running the LA school when Bruce wasn't there. That in that school there were like a lot of blanket certificates. Okay, so Inosanto had actually empty certificates on his hands. So that's somebody said to us that certificate might be not real. So Inosanto had chance to falsificate, and because he couldn't really write Bruce, he did B. Lee, because writing Lee is really easy. It's like Lee. But I find it also unlikely Bruce do the signature just B. Lee, B full stop Lee instead of writing his full name. And I would have also look in the internet for the copy of the certificate if that's true, because I'm not sure anymore. Because this certificate was published in I think in a Black Belt magazine some 30 years ago or something, and so there's a. I'm not sure now. I have to look it up. What actually what the signature of Bruce Lee was, but that's what I heard. Oh, that's what we heard. Yeah. So I have no idea. Did you know? Roland? Did you know Joe Louis' student is teaching Jeet Kune in karate college? No, I didn't know that. I don't know any students of Joe Louis. David Urbina, I have a question. I read that Bruce added a lot of kicks from Savat. That's not accurate. That's not true. There is no Savat kick in Jeet Kune. Daka, I had to break my flip question in two, so it didn't make sense. Where I said question, it was meant for the flip kick. How do you get power? Well, by turning your supporting leg and hip. That's how you get power. So you turn your support leg like in the side kick, and you use the hip. Daka, I can't post more than 200 words. Do you need more than 200 words? Roland Diaz, can you go in the jail for fighting in Germany for defending yourself? Actually not, yeah. Our self-defense laws are the same like in any Western country, basically the same. Chris Bach, the video was recorded when Segal was 34 years old. He was born 1952, so it was recorded 85 or 86. Roland Diaz, do you find it weird that Inosanto said Bruce was his best friend, whereby Bruce told everyone that James Lee was his best friend? Well, I mean, I can say this guy is my best friend, but I can be a best friend to somebody else because he doesn't have any better friends than me. Technically, this is possible. Walter, dance cert isn't even real? Question mark. Now, not Bruce sign. Oh my God, could Bruce have signed a cert meaning for done to teach some other than? Like I said, I don't know. I would have to look up for that certificate somewhere in the internet. You can find it. John, hi John. My understanding from research is that Linda told Inosanto to open a school and continue Jeet Kune. We know from Bruce words that he didn't authorize Dan to teach anything, but I have heard a different story about that. I have heard a different story. So guys, soon I have to end the stream because it's getting late here and my kids have to go to bed. David, thank you for clarification of the subject. You're welcome. Chris, thank you, Thomas, about that. Yes, I've heard similar things at least one time about that certificate. This adds, this ad, what's essentially your own, was definitely not from Bruce, no. Reject what's useless. I mean, it's basically what can mean anything. So let's look for this certificate, maybe if we can find it. Maybe I can find it. Certifications given by Bruce Lee. The quality is not very good. I don't see. Oh, here, there you go. Oh, here you can see it. Look, look. Let's see. Let's go here. Okay, here you can see. Tao for Chinese Kung Fu, certificate to Dan Inosanto, full written Bruce Lee. Then this is Junfang Kung Fu certificate from Bruce Lee to Inosanto, Bruce Lee here. These are probably they are real. And then you have Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune certificate to Dan Inosanto, and look at the signature. It's not the same like here. It's like B Lee or something. Okay, so that what made people think that this is actually not real, that he did this himself. Okay, so you can think about it what you want, but you can clearly see that the signature here and here is not the same as here. Okay, so do I know? Does it make sense? Does this make sense? I don't know. Okay. No, Tommy, Daka, Tommy was never part of Paul Box forum. I was there for a while, but this forum is dead as well. And Chris Bach, and about friends, I bet you Norris, LaBelle, Bob Wall were never real friends of Bruce. They claimed it later. They were probably like you would say colleagues. Okay. Linda told Dan to open school, not Bruce. No, I don't think that's really true. Chris Bye. Sifu Alex Risha aka Kung Fu Genius made video about Lebel and brought up very good points, while Lebel mostly probably lied. The guy lied about choking out Seagal. No, Lebel never claimed that. I have seen a video about this. He never claimed he choked Seagal out. Other people did claim that. I think that's how the story goes. Okay, guys. So, guys, I really have to go now. I'm going to let the stream run for a few moments so you can still communicate if you want, guys. And I have really to go now because this is now time to go to bed for my kids. And guys, see you next time. Thank you for being here.